If you work with AI, you may know this feeling. You've just learned how to write a good prompt, you've tested it, you've saved it, and maybe you've even built a whole library. And then suddenly people talk about agents and skills, and the thing you just have learned feels old. When I look at all this news, it's easy to think that staying up to date means knowing every tool. I do not think that anymore.
You may not be as far behind as you think. This is an old book of mine about prompts.
For a long time, I tried to get better at prompts. I tested them, I saved them, I built a full library. So when people started talking about skills, I thought I had to start all over again. And then I looked at the old work in a different way. What if my old prompts were not that old? What if they were my starting point? About 3 months ago, I moved from the browser to the ChatGPT desktop app. It happened slowly. I opened the browser less. I started working with files and folders on my computer. In the browser, every new chat felt like a new start. I pasted the prompt, added some details, fixed the same problems. In the desktop app, I started asking a different kind of question.
This is where skills come in.
A skill keeps the steps for a task you do often. It can also use files, examples and rules. So I did not throw away my old carousel prompt. I use it as the first part of a skill. That was the useful part for me. I was not learning everything again. I was building on what I already knew. This is the old prompt. It turned a LinkedIn post into a carousel. The idea was good, but every time I still had to add my style, choose images and repeat old feedback. The prompt knew the task, but it did not know my full way of working. I opened the skill creator and gave it my old prompt. Then I write one simple line. That's it. I'm not writing code, I'm not building a perfect system. I'm just playing with it and seeing what happens. Next, I give it my website. I ask it to find the black and white style, the fonts, the spacing and my logo. And I check the result. Some things are right, some need some small change. So I tell it the skill. The goal is not to get everything right on the first try. The goal is to save each useful choice for the next time. I also give it photos of me. I add one rule. Use this photo on the first and last slide. Again, this is not magic. It works because I give it good limits. Now I add what I've learned from earlier carousels. I want 10 slides, one clear story, a short text, a PDF and separate preview images. I do not try to think of every rule, I add the rules I already know. Then I test it. If I see a problem that may happen again, I improve the skill. I do not only fix this one carousel, I improve the entire process.
Now, let's test it.
I give the skill a real LinkedIn post, nothing else. I do not explain my style, I do not choose the photos again, I just ask for a carousel. It uses the rules, the photos and the files we've saved. The old prompt is now becoming a process I can use again. And here's the result. I still check it and I make final choices. A skill does not take that away, but I no longer build the same setup every time.
This used to take me hours, but now it only takes me about 3 minutes.
And that time does more than make my work faster. It gives me time for things I've never had time before. Like fixing this old racing bike. I take it out of the shed and work on a small part. I keep coming back to it. Each time I found one more thing to improve. just like a skill. Years ago, I started with pen and paper. Then I started using Canva, then Keynote, then ChatGPT in the browser. A skill is just simply my next step. If AI feels too fast, open your prompt library. Choose one task you do often. Then ask 3 questions. That's enough for a first test.
Your old prompts are not out of date. They may be the start of something better. You do not need to follow every AI update. Just start with something small.